Hello, friends. Today I want to observe with you the situation that is going on at the very front line of the Russian war against Ukraine. That is in Bakhmut city now. Before that, I want to give you just a short background to the history so you could understand Bakhmut's history and soul. So the first evidence of prior settlement was in 1556. The first official mention of Bakhmut dates from 1571. Um, Out of the 73,000 residents of Bakhmut before the start of the full-scale war, as of mid-May, a little over 20,000 remained in the city. Thanks to this, it was possible to avoid the number of victims the enemy had hoped for. On May 17th, 2022, a Russian missile hit an apartment building. Five people died, including a 2 years old child. As of March 2023, there were still 300 civilians in the city, including approximately 50 children. Some of them were hiding from rescuers, not wanting to leave the city as they have nowhere to go. On 28th March, the commander of the ground forces of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, Alexander Syrsky, said that Russian invaders are attempting to capture the city of Bakhmut in Donetsk Oblast. The Ukrainian forces' task is to exhaust the Russian army and inflict heavy losses on it. ISV today announced that invaders captured another 5% of Bakhmut city. The commander of ground forces of Ukraine, Alexander Syrsky, said that Wagner's private military company units remain the main Russian forces operating in the Bakhmut's direction, and they have not yet lost their offensive capabilities. Despite their numerical superiority on the front line, Ukrainian forces continue to wear down mercenaries, which will allow Ukrainian soldiers to conduct offensive operations. The owner of private military company Wagner, Yevgeny Prigozhin, has softened his rhetoric regarding to the Russian Ministry of Defense, probably out of fear of completely losing his mercenaries in Bakhmut. He is very concerned about a possible Ukrainian counter-offensive in eastern Ukraine. Prigozhin claims, by the way, Prigozhin is internationally recognized criminal. And he claims that Ukraine has 220,000 reserves concentrated for the offensive along the entire Eastern Front, in the Belgorod region and in Bakhmut. Prigozhin's statements about the immediate threat to Russian forces are likely an attempt to obtain additional supplies and reinforcements from the Russian Ministry of Defense to save his forces in Bakhmut. Prigozhin denied the Kremlin's claims that the Russian Federation was at war with NATO in Ukraine and questioned whether there were actually Nazis in Ukraine, as the Kremlin's constantly claims. Prigozhin stated that Russia was at war exceptionally with Ukrainians, who are equipped with equipment provided by NATO and some Russophobic mercenaries who voluntarily support Ukraine, but not with NATO itself. Prigozhin noted that he was not sure about the goals of denazification in Ukraine, as he didn't know whether there were Nazis in Ukraine or not. He effectively rejected the Kremlin's pre-war and post-war claims that Russia needed to defend itself against the NATO threat in Ukraine and undermined the necessity and likelihood of Russian President Vladimir Putin's stated goals for this invasion. There are constant positions in battles in Bakhmut, and Ukrainian troops repelled Russian assaults to the northwest in Alexandro-Shultany and Bogdanivka, in Vasilievka and Predtechin. During March 23, 35 clashes with the enemy took place, 29 of them in the area of the city itself and its surroundings. Just a little bit later, we'll see it on the map. In their daily report, the analytics of the Institute of the Study of War, ISV, estimate that mercenaries from the Wagner private military company have advanced another 5% of the territory of Bakhmut and already occupied about 65% of the city. The area of Bakhmut is a little more than 40 kilometers, so 5% of territory is about 2 kilometers. Now let's go to the map. As you can see, here is Bakhmut. But this is not only the part, the Bakhmut itself starts on the east, somewhere here, and it's all occupied now. And the gray colored map is where most of the battles are going on. Russians probably captured the Azov industrial complex in the north of Bakhmut and continued to advance deep into the city. So this is Azov company, and the administrative building here is still captured by Ukrainian forces, and this is a battle line here. According to ISV experts, the Wagnerians may be trying to consolidate their gains in the northern and central parts of Bakhmut in order to advance to the city center and expand their area of control to the western part of the city. So that's how it's going on globally. They're trying to capture all Bakhmut, but they are also trying to expand their forces west of Bakhmut and close this loop here before Chasiv Yar or even after it. On March 28th, the spokesman of the Eastern Group of Forces of the Defense Forces of Ukraine, Colonel Serhiy Cherevati, reported that 19 combat clashes took place in Bakhmut area and 14 directly in Bakhmut. Dear friends, don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you will not miss the video and support. This is important information by sharing. Send to the people you know in the text messengers or on Facebook. And if you want to support me with this job, in the details down below you may find my PayPal address. And we are moving ahead to reveal why it's so important to keep fighting for Bakhmut. Volodymyr Zelensky warned that unless the armed forces of Ukraine win a drawn-out battle in a key eastern city, Russia could begin building international support for a deal that could require Ukraine to make inaccessible compromises. If Vladimir Putin will feel some blood, smell that we are weak, he will push, push, and push. According to the president of Ukraine, if Bakhmut falls, Putin will sell this victory to the Western countries, his society, China, and Iran. The president emphasized that in case of defeat in the Battle of Bakhmut, Ukrainian society will feel tired and push for a compromise. But at the moment, he doesn't feel such pressure. This is all for today. Thank you for watching this video. See you later. Bye-bye.